So, uh, when you picture professional audio, what comes to mind?
Oh, definitely a huge mixing board.
Right. A dimly lit studio, massive racks of gear with blinking lights, the whole setup. There's this assumption that for sound to be big, the gear has to be big.
It's the classic bias, you
Yeah.
know. We equate physical heft with processing power. But today, we're looking at something that really challenges that.
A pretty bold claim. We're doing a deep dive on the Kramer DSP-1 mini digital sound processor, and when they say mini, they aren't kidding.
No, it fits in the palm of your hand.
It really does.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to figure out if a box this small, what is it, like 12 centimeters wide, can actually deliver on professional audio, or if it's just a toy.
Right. And spoiler alert, despite the footprint, this is definitely not a toy. It's a dedicated tool designed to solve some very specific high-fidelity problems without taking up any rack space.
Let's start with that size then. You could literally hide this behind a monitor or, I don't know, tape it under a desk and completely forget it exists.
Mhm.
But usually when devices get that small, you lose the professional inputs. You get stuck with consumer headphone jacks.
And that's where the DSP-1 really differentiates itself. It gives you a balanced stereo audio input on a 5-pin terminal block. You know those little green connectors you see in Pro installs?
Oh, yeah. The ones where you screw the wire directly in. A
Yeah.
total pain to set up, but they never, ever come loose.
Exactly. That's the standard for professional gear because it cancels out noise, especially over long cable runs. It does have the 3.5 millimeter jack too, so you can hook up a phone or laptop easily. But the priority is clearly Pro integration.
Okay. Inputs are one thing, but I mean, inputs are useless if the processing inside is just garbage. So what's actually driving this thing?
The brain inside uses a latest generation 32-bit advanced digital analog converter, a DIA.
32-bit. That sounds impressive on a spec sheet, but what does that actually mean for someone listening?
Well, think of it like resolution on a screen, but for sound. Higher bit depth gives you more dynamic range. But the real story here, the really cool part, is the architecture's tolerance to what's called clock jitter.
Dang on jitter.
Think of jitter like a musician playing slightly offbeat. It doesn't totally ruin the song, but it can make the audio feel a little blurry or harsh.
Got it.
This chip is designed to minimize those tiny timing errors. And it supports sampling rates up to 96 kilohertz. It just keeps the signal tight and clean.
So you get pristine audio, but it's not just a pass-through box, it's a mixer, right?
It is. It allows for 2-input mixing with a master volume. But where it really shines is the EQ. Most small devices give you, what, a bass knob and a treble knob.
Yeah, a very blunt instrument.
Very blunt instrument. The DSP-1 has a 3-band parametric equalizer.
Okay, hold on. Parametric. I'm used to just turning up the bass in my car. Why do I need a parametric EQ?
Because the bass knob in your car boosts a huge wide range of frequencies all at once. Parametric lets you be surgical. You control the specific frequency, the gain, and something called the Q factor.
Q factor, what's that?
That controls how wide or narrow your adjustment is.
No.
So are you boosting a whole mountain range of bass, or are you just surgically removing one annoying specific peak?
So I could use it to cut out a specific hum, like from an air conditioner, without making the voices sound all thin and weird.
Even better. For exactly that, they've included a selectable high-pass filter. It's set right at 70 hertz, and it automatically cuts that low-end rumble.
But this brings up a logistics problem. If I've taped this tiny box under a desk to hide it, how do I actually change any of those settings? There are no knobs.
And that lack of knobs is actually a feature. You control everything through a built-in web page. Over Ethernet or RS-232,
Okay.
you just plug it into the network, pull up its IP address, and you have a full digital mixing console on your screen.
Which means I could be standing in the sweet spot of the room with a tablet, actually hearing the changes I'm making, instead of being stuck in a closet with the rack.
Right. And it also prevents people from just walking by and bumping a physical knob, messing up your settings. You create your presets, you save them, and it really becomes a set and forget solution.
It creates a consistency that physical gear sometimes lacks. And looking at the price, it's listed around $376 discounted. That seems like a lot of utility for the size.
It's a line-level amp, a mixer, and a studio-grade DIC all in one. It really represents a shift toward decentralized audio.
Right.
We're moving away from the one giant brain in a server room to having these powerful smart nodes distributed exactly where we need them.
Which brings us to a provocative thought to leave you with. If a 32-bit studio-grade processor is now small enough to fit in your pocket,
Yeah.
how long until physical mixing boards just disappear entirely? Are we heading toward a world where all audio gear is just invisible?
And the only thing you ever touch is a web browser.
Yeah.
That is something worth listening for.